Oh yeah.
Ooh, an error occurred. Huh.
Well, really?
Yeah, I just got an error message saying, oh, okay, wait, now we're live. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, it said an error occurred going live, and then, all right, I think we're fine.
And then it recovered.
And then it recovered. That was weird. GM. Like, okay, it's gonna be that kind of day. Welcome to Friday. Yeah, we're new. It's our first show. 340 shows later.
We rely, we don't own the entire stack. Maybe we should.
It's true. We do not own the entire stack. Well, owning the entire stack comes with a lot less distribution. So these are the trade-offs that we have to make. But I'm excited. We've got some fun things to talk about today. We've got Cojo coming on. And I have this as my background, which I'll explain when he comes on here, but you'll notice a little difference in how many people are voting with him and how many people are voting with me. So I had to make this my background, and we'll explain what that all means later. But I
can't wait.
He'll know. We've got,
I don't know what the traders are.
We'll explain. We've got a lot of fun things happening in the world, like interesting things with AI, interesting things with crypto, that we're going to talk about. And so Twitter did change some things, and it's not alerting people when we are live anymore. Let me just double check. Yep, it is not doing that. So we're going to have to do that ourselves for right now. And so if you are watching over on Twitter, if you're watching in the GM Farcaster mini app, wherever you are watching in the world, go share it, go let people know. And we will be back on the other side of this 41 seconds to start the show. Happy Friday. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Manish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. I know it's Thursday. It's Friday for us. I know it's Thursday. Happy Friday. It's Happy Friday somewhere.
Thank you, producer, for correcting the
producer. All right, Mr. Producer. I know it's Thursday. And it's Thursday, February 12th. And you are here with Manish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day, plus a chat with Cojo, our friend Colin from Ponder fame, and we're going to be talking about tomorrow, a new prediction market. And I still need to send all these things out. So just give me 1 second, because we're no longer getting it alerted out automatically, which is really, really fun. So let me make sure. I don't know what Cojo is on Twitter. So anyway, let me get this shouted out. So
remember the Cameron? Do you remember the Cameron Colin 2x2 grid?
Yes.
Colin Armstrong.
Yes.
Cameron Armstrong, Colin, Coach.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to see if I can pull that back up. That's got to be 3 years old. That's like a early 2022.
Yep. That's funny. I hadn't thought about that in a long time.
I can find it.
Yeah, this like manual telling people we're live is very annoying. So one moment, friends, I apologize, because it used to do this for us and now it doesn't.
Would you like me to automate that for you?
Yes, I really would.
I've automated my task.
Yes. Can you automate this as well?
We break up
It
work.
Used to be. It used to be.
I just press a button. I press a button.
It used to be fairly automated, and now it is no longer, which is just really frustrating. So I'm not happy about this. And I think I know why.
I also try to avoid spending time on X. So
I know you do. I've been spending too much time there lately because, there's a lot of people who used to chat more in other places who are back over on X, on Twitter. So
including Dan Romero.
Including Dan Romero, him being one of those people. Yeah, what has he said? Anything new lately? Let's see. I haven't checked lately, but I know he's talking Temple a lot over there. Yeah, there's many such cases. A lot of people who are need that larger audience for what they're doing. We like our cozy corner. Thank you. But we also like when people from Twitter X come and join us. We really do. So if you're here from over there, thanks, welcome. And if you're over there watching, give a share. All right. We got stuff to dive into. So let's do that. And I just realized I did have another task to do today that I did not do, but we'll get to that in a moment. This from, oops, I gotta do one more thing.
No idea.
Change my background. Yeah, I'll tell you in a sec, because I'm gonna rely on you to do a little something in just a bit. I need to change my background real fast because today we are sponsored by, is that the right one? I think that's the right one. We are sponsored by the Haberdashery. So let me make sure I've got the right, yep. Okay, now we're good. Today we are sponsored by the Haberdashery. So shout out to the Haberdashery. Usually it's Wednesdays, but today it's Thursday because we only did 2 shows this week. All right.
Look, I'm back at my Haberdashery.
Moving on. Speaking of things that were only on Twitter, but because they were on Twitter, so it was okay. If you followed that, congratulations. This from our friend Jack Dishman. The Clanker tokens you all know and love can now be deployed through X. Vault some supply to yourself or another account. Split fees with someone else. Quick sprint to get this live. Revamped stale code from like a year ago. So it may be buggy as we work out the kinks. Clanks. That was cute. And this has been, there's going to be some bugs. Please report them back and they will get to those quickly. I talked to Jack the other day and he did mention that this was coming and he was working on it. It's something that they've been, had in the works for quite a while, but other things got in the way. I don't know what. There's been a lot since like May that's been going on for the Clanker team, and Dish pretty much hasn't had time to breathe. And then this was from Clanker World. Appreciate everyone's patience. Issues are resolved. Deployments and replies are now going out. Please reach out if you're still running into issues. Notes: to access your fees, wallet, and claim, sign into Clanker World with your X account. You can also export this if you want. Token launches are limited to 3 tokens per day per user. You can assign fees to another X user by mentioning their @ in the launch tweet. You can specify a percentage of supply to vest to yourself or another user. So very cool. And this was a follow-up on that, pushing a fix to show smart accounts connected to X accounts for Clankers deployed by Clanker World. We'll fund the Privy Paymaster tomorrow, but now you'll be able to confirm ownership. Should be live shortly. So again, if you're going to clanker.world, you should be able to find it there. And then also this quick walkthrough of claiming Clanker token fees deployed through X and transferring tokens to another account. Hit me up if you have any questions. Hope this helps. So there's a loom there that you can watch if you don't know, if you are launching something over on Twitter X and you cannot figure out how to claim your fees. So there you go. Very exciting. The next step. Exciting things. And then this from Rish, this is the homework I didn't get done. Here's a prototype video on app discovery. Context on why I'm sharing this prototype is in the quoted cast below, which I'll share in just a moment. Product goals. Builders can share their products more easily with the network. Users can discover new products faster, engage in more fun ways. Feedback that helps achieve the above goals is useful. Feedback asking us to switch to different goals is less relevant at this time. In other words, I shouldn't tell them to bring back the
trending feed?
That should not be a comment, or please switch the buttons back. Like, that's not what they're looking for right here.
Animated GIFs.
P.S. I use Slack to record videos and often get cut off abruptly at 5 minutes. And he was quote casting this. We'll try sharing UI prototypes of what we want to build into Farcaster app. The goal is to get early feedback. FYI, not all feedback will be acted on. Some things will live and learn. First one tonight, if I wrap it up in time, and then this was the result. So, Adrienne, did you watch this?
Yes.
Thoughts?
So I didn't know Rish had such product chops and product vision. So yay, maybe we did know, but feeling good that the protocol in our favorite app is in his hands. Great idea to share early visions of things and get feedback now, because now is the easiest and cheapest time to do it. So just kind of, how do you generally shorten feedback loops to things? The specific thing he's showing here is how do you get discovery? So some of the things I thought were interesting in the video is he's thinking about changing the label from mini apps to apps.
I saw that noted.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I think if you think about Farcaster having an app store, but also he said you'll be able to share apps that aren't even mini apps. Like if you're launching apps anywhere. So it's really just about highlighting anything you're building. Like Farcaster can be a product hunt style discovery place.
Like that.
Slightly different views for things. One is very much of like a recent view of like, what are the things like just launching this week, tying into feeds. By the way, I also loved how he talked about if you are brand new to Farcaster and you have no followers, but you're launching something high quality, it'll get picked up because there's going to be AI behind it to try to identify. So the only way to get featured, you don't have to fill out a form. You don't have to, ask for, you cast, create a cast. Hey, I'm launching this, and the AI will pick it up and add it. And it'll do some screening for scams, screening for, for lower quality stuff will get out. And then it's kind of the integration of, you'll see social metrics of how many views, let's say, or comments your cast, your launch announcement got baked in. So it's like you've got that vision, but then also just other views based on, I forget if they're categories or, you can save things so you can create your own kind of app page. And then he also showed a vision for a profile tab, is how do you make it easier for people who have a portfolio of projects, or if you're building things, for you to showcase that on your profile.
So basically the Jake, it's a Jake feature. It was very different. I'm just getting like Jake. No, I'm just thinking he has
Jake builds a lot.
He builds a lot of different apps.
Yeah. But right now you can kind of, on your profile page, you've got your bio, your PFP, you can add your Twitter handle and a website, like a URL.
Yeah.
But people want to say, well, what have you built? So there's a way to kind of add apps there. That's so cool. I think it's pretty consistent with his, hey, let's lean into builders. And also, how do we help builders get distribution and amplify their work? So awesome. I had no comments to give him. I just said, thumbs up, keep going.
Awesome. All right. I did not get a chance to watch this, so I am glad that you did and had some great feedback. I did see a lot of feedback coming in. I saw people talking about it. That all sounds fabulous, and any way to surface good stuff, I think, is important. So great. Apps won't just, she mentioned that apps won't be just FC native, but potentially coexist in various places. And I think that's great. Because we do see a lot of people building cool things, and we want to be able to surface all of them. One that came to mind that's just kind of random, and it's not really an app, I guess it's more of a website, is like, when Flexosaurus was building like MTV Rewind. Has nothing to do with anything that we normally talk about, but is kind of a cool thing. What Levi's building, if it's probably more of a website than an app, but things like that I think are pretty cool. Like, if you're a cool builder and you're building something that's interesting, it'd be great to surface those more. But also, you should make them into mini apps as well. I don't know about the mini app versus app thing. I get it and I don't, but I still think that referring to things that are an app inside an app as a mini app, I think is helpful, just to distinguish from something that you have to go to an app store to download, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe we should call them frames. Should we pick a new word
Maybe
just
frames.
for something that
Maybe.
lives inside of Farcaster? It doesn't bother me because I do think like there's overlap and you can kind of code your apps to work within a Farcaster concept.
True.
To not our mini app, when I just recoded it, like the first version was like, if you don't open it in Farcaster, it doesn't do anything. And
Right.
now it's like technically you could open our mini app in a web browser and still navigate through. And it's, you kind of have to code different, you know, if it's in a Farcaster, handle certain things. If it's not, do it elsewise. But
and I guess maybe that's a good point. If it's changing to that extent where a lot of these mini apps can stand alone elsewhere, then I guess it doesn't matter. So, all right.
And yeah, and I just think it is cool, I guess, to your point of like knowing if it's a mini app, these are the ones that already have Farcaster context. You don't necessarily need to create a new login. You know who the person is. They have wallets. You don't necessarily get that guarantee everywhere else.
True.
So, right, if it's standalone, it's an app. If it's something else, it's a mini app. But what about, does it have to be downloaded from the app store then? Like, does it have to be standalone? What about,
because it could be a web app. It could be
a web app.
Yeah.
Should we just stop making things?
We could do that as well, and just maybe like that would be easier.
Stop changing things, and then we don't have to like worry about what we call things.
Yeah.
Just like lock in the dictionary.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, moving on. But this is interesting, and I do really appreciate the pulling out there early, looking for feedback before you push it out to the main. And I agree with you. It's way easier to get feedback early than try and retrofit it later. Okay, moving on. This actually, this from Bricks Bounty is a comment on this. So let me start here from Shira. I went to dune.eth to check out this chart because something in my feed has been feeling off. Has it gotten quieter or more repetitive? Not sure. But I was surprised to see that the data tells a different story. DAU, daily active users, for those who don't know, is holding steady at 30 to 40K range. So maybe the issue isn't that people are leaving or going quiet or just heads down building. Maybe the algo just isn't surfacing enough new voices peeps for me. If there are 40K plus DAO here, then where are they all hanging out? How do I find them? I want my feed to feel more alive. I want to follow more interesting people and diversify what I'm seeing. Help. Any tips, Rex? And then this was from Bricks Bounty that I thought was an interesting take on this. Personally feel there's a little less glue that was previously provided by accounts that had both broad reach and would engage across a spectrum of topics. Keckers and Ted being an example, and maybe the super well-respected Eth Dev types who have largely been absent for a year plus. Still have heaps of activity in smaller circles, politics, etc., with Java Boo and Perp, and I would say also Ice Toad, sports, TLDR, and the broader Bracky community, Toady Hawk, Jake, Kenny, and GM Farcaster crew, and other base builders who create a pulse despite the crowd being smaller. Less people scrolling for longer periods, shallower depth to engagement, less likely to break containment, and airdrop farmers have mostly ghosted post-Merkle base app pivot, which that's fantastic, by the way.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, like completely fine with that part. But I kind of get, for a little while there, I was definitely feeling that. I have felt in the past maybe 3 weeks or so, like a ramp up. I'm seeing a variety. I'm seeing more people engage. So the DAO numbers do feel right to me based on where we've been before. It honestly, like, this is an incredibly active place when there were 938 of us that were daily active users. So like, I think it's not necessarily the number, but like who's actually providing the conversational liquidity. So I do think it feels like there's some things missing. Like also Kristen hasn't been as active. So Keckers, Kristen, like that particular type of content, I feel like is a little lacking right now. But also I do agree that the algo might be a little off. Because I do see, when I flip over to following, I do see things that I'm not seeing in my algo. So, you know, maybe we'll see some tweaking as the new team takes over. How are you feeling about your feed right now?
Yeah, it's in a transition. It feels like, and it, like, if I'm honest, I'm not loving it, but it doesn't bother me
Okay.
because I've seen ups and downs before. So it's kind of like just cast through it. I believe in kind of Farcaster, and I think
cast through it like that.
Cast through it.
Just cast through it. I do see a lot of, there's a lot more AI talk. There's a lot more overall tech talk. Yeah, we always need more Burtworth. I have been feeling a little lack of Burt. I have noticed that. Burt's been busy, they recently moved. It's been busy adjusting.
Yeah. I mean, Burt's gonna be an adolescent soon. He's not a little kid. He's probably out hanging with the boys.
Yeah, hanging with Uncle Pierre. All right, moving on. Is there a Farcaster Eth Denver event? And this is from Rish. I am not going to be there, but we'll share the event with others who want to attend. So Luciano is hosting something, and it looks like there will be 2 FC events right now. This is from Luciano. Purple Party at Base House and a more general FC community event at the main venue, working on this with Swarthy Hatter. We would like to do something in line with usual FC booth vibes. Okay, so if you are going to be at Eth Denver, please give Luciano a follow, give Swarthy Hatter a follow, and then also Humpty.eth. Creators will be there doing fun videos and stuff. So the on-chain creator rally in Denver is going to be happening. So make sure you're following them. Pizza DAO usually has an event. I haven't heard too much. I did see that Boys Club is having something small and chill. So I think a lot of this is just a lot smaller, a lot more limited. I did see Jesse is going last minute. So look for something with Base, but it's definitely scaled back. But there will be some folks there. So have fun, everybody. Sorry, no karaoke this year, but we love you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go with this. I don't have this in line the way I want it. I'm going to start with Vitalik. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, and per usual, I will not be reading everything Vitalik wrote. Anyway, just wanted to scroll and show you why. So this is from Vitalik. 2 years ago, I wrote this post on the possible areas that I see for Ethereum plus AI intersections. This is a topic that many people are excited about, but where I always worry that we may think about the two from completely different philosophical perspectives. Not going to get into this. It's way too long, but go give a read. Very interesting. And also I thought this was, an interesting chart to think about in terms of survive, thrive, infrastructure, and impact, and how these all coincide in terms of Ethereum as an economic layer for AI, enabling trustless and private AI interactions with ZK proofs, cypherpunk mountain man vision with local LLMs, which I thought that was interesting. And then make much better markets and governance a reality in terms of impact and thrive. So that's sort of how he's thinking. I think that chart is super useful. The read is longer and very Vitalik-y, but it's good. This from Naomi, related. So the people surprised by, okay, wait, let me stop there for a second. One thing we didn't talk about and I did not pull was the article that's going around that's like, what the heck is it called? I can't remember what it's called right now, but you have to read this.
Matt Schumer?
Yes, the Matt Schumer article.
Yes, and there's already the response article that's gone viral that everyone has to talk about.
Which I also didn't think, I did not think the response article was good, but whatever. So anyway.
Wrong take. You have to think they're both the most amazing things you've ever read.
I don't think either of the most amazing things I ever read. How I thought that the Matt Schumer article was helpful is for people who are paying very little attention to any of this. This is useful for them to get a handle on what's happening because I don't think a lot of people are paying attention closely. They're using ChatGPT. They might be super doomers. They might not be. They might not realize the actual pragmatic reality of what's going on. Do I get extra points?
Warpy is not the judge, but nice.
Speaking of AI.
Salient points, very salient.
And then This is from Naomi. The people surprised, and this is related to the Harvard Business School study, that the Harvard Business School study found that employees using AI felt their work intensified rather than became more manageable. Clearly haven't read enough critique of modernity philosophy. Whenever we've had new tech making stuff easier, expectations heightened. The introduction of cleaning devices meant we started having higher demands on cleanliness of homes. The introduction of email meant we had to write more emails than we had ever written letters. Instant messaging on all our devices equaled never being actually disconnected from work. Is just the same dynamic, dialed up further. Highly recommend some of Hartmut Rosa's interviews, talks, since he was one of the first to put a name to this phenomenon, that all this tech has sped up our lives to the point where we feel like we're constantly running only to stay at the same place, which I thought was a very interesting thought. So there's that. And then there's this.
Such a good point.
Such a good point, right?
And don't even worry about reading Hartmut Rosa's. Just follow Naomi.
It's way easier
to
just follow Naomi. But I think that's
like if you haven't built a mini app today, remember, like you're a loser.
You're a loser. What are you doing? I still haven't gotten mine out that I built like weeks ago because I had other things that I needed to put into it. And then my brain goes to 6 more different things I'd rather do instead, build instead. And now I'm not even sure I want to put it out there because I'm like, oh, I just thought of better things, but I will just put it out there. We see you down there, Cojo. We'll be with you in just a moment. We got a couple more things and then we're bringing you up. This from Garrett. This was in response to over on Twitter X, Mrynyak Sharma. Today is my last day at Anthropic. I resigned. Here's the letter I share with my colleagues explaining my decision. In that decision is a discussion how they have concerns about the way that AI is training and being able to like basically fake its training and fake safeguards and things like that. And there's concerns, but also that this person is leaving Anthropic to go live in the countryside and write poetry. And then Garrett shared this, the way it is. There's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder about what you are pursuing. You have to explain about the thread, but it is hard for others to see. While you hold it up, you can't get lost. Tragedies happen, people get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do stops time's unfolding. You don't ever let go of the thread. I don't know if that was positive or negative or doomer, but it wasn't, there's concerns. So essentially, here's where we are right now. You've got people who are absolutely fully anti-AI. Everything's, this is the worst thing ever. You've got people who are very excited about the future. I think most of us are somewhere in the middle. We can see the issues and concerns, but also there's some cool stuff happening. And one of those cool things, which I have been very excited about today, is Levi's new podcast. But interesting, the comments on it, by the way, on like Spotify. So, and I'll get to that in a second. So let me just read this. Vibe coded the Epstein Files podcast with Claude in a weekend and just crossed 100,000 downloads in its first week. To put that in perspective, the top 1% of all podcasts globally get around 5,000 downloads in the first 7 days. This did 100K. That's 20x the top 1% threshold. The average podcast gets 141 downloads in its first 30 days. Most spend 18 plus months trying to crack 1,000 per episode. A lot never get there. Hi. And there are 4.5 million podcasts out there right now. No fancy studio, no production team, just Claude, a Mac Mini, and a weekend of focused work curating the right approach to the series. Still processing this one, honestly. Check it out, epsteinfiles.fm. Okay, so I finally listened to this today. Listened to the first couple episodes. Highly impressed. And I'm okay. Now, I mean, if you watch this show, if you've listened to me for a while, I like a good conspiracy theory. So I have been following this for literally a couple decades, like literally known who this guy was for a
How?
very long time.
Why?
It's in the news for various reasons. Some people didn't pay attention, but I started really following it like in 2014, 2015. Just different things I was seeing in the news. And then I would dive in a little bit more, and then I would dive in a little bit more. So when all the documents, and then I read the whole thing with the Miami Herald, that was a big piece way back when. So, and then Alex Acosta and everything, all the controversy around his nomination. So I was following this for a very long time. I've watched numerous documentaries on this. I've listened to many podcasts, read many articles. This is one of the clearest I've heard regarding evidence, like regarding actual documents and evidence, and tying that together in a way that is very digestible. Because if you're reading documents, it's very hard to follow. But this is it's very interesting in the way it lays out.
Entirely, right? It's based entirely on
3 million plus documents. Yeah. So it's pulling all the legal documents, all the complaints, all that stuff, plus all these emails that have dropped between the estate files and all the stuff that's in these documents. But legal files are massive and incredibly difficult for a human to sort through. So to be able to dump those into AI, have them sort through it, and then put it in this way that's very digestible is fascinating. And it's an enjoyable listen. I've heard other attempts at AI podcasts, which I have not found enjoyable. They're either, I don't even know what it is. I can't explain it, but or like if we go back a year when this first was like presented, it was like, I'm not worried about my job yet. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you why.
Why is it?
The difference. It's because of the topic.
Maybe.
It's because what you said is you're not getting this content anywhere else because it's too hard. If you tried to do, let's say you tried to do AI GM Farcaster.
Yeah.
Like
we may try that. Yeah.
Actually we are. But you and I can still do it. Like we can do justice to what's happening on Farcaster.
Correct.
Because every 2 days, we don't have to read 4 million pages of legal docs.
Exactly.
So why would someone want to listen to an AI version of us when they get the imperfectly perfect us?
I mean, right.
You wouldn't. Like you wouldn't. So because
wouldn't.
like the AI people, like they can be a little annoying.
Yeah.
So, but you're forgiving. Like with the Epstein Files, with Levi's project, you're forgiving because you can't really get this content anywhere else. So that's my take.
But it's not even that.
This one.
I'm not forgiving. Like I think
that
the voice is better. The voice is better. Like the voices are better. They're
annoying.
Interaction is better. It's better than it's ever been. It's not as
maybe,
good as humans,
but then AI should keep But then it should keep getting better.
Yeah.
Because
it's just better than it's ever been. I'm very impressed. There's a couple things I didn't like. I don't like when the AI hallucinates or pretends to be actual people, where they're like, well, I've had, years of experience with this. No, you haven't. You're a voice. Like, no. So that part I didn't care for.
When they can't pronounce certain things.
Yeah, things like that.
Like
so there's
Ghislaine. And they
hello.
ZIP code. It's like, well, in the Palm Beach, the ZIP code. I'm like, what? What a robot.
But also, I can't make fun of anybody mispronouncing names.
No.
Very human.
Can't make fun of anyone for
we do that every single episode. So
they're I find them just a little annoying the way they go back and forth of like, yes, and this, like just
see, I kind of liked that because it felt a little more natural. It really did to me. But anyway, it's still not fantastic, but I thought it was better. AI Farcaster.
But it is fascinating, right? And then also like it's a project you can do in a weekend and you can spit out 64 episodes and
more. Yeah. Insane.
Anyway, so Red Wings, we are talking about playing with a GM AI version. Very different than the show. But just like to play with.
Yeah. And it would be in between our regular shows, not in place of. So we're talking about it. It gave me a little more inspiration listening to that. It has improved quite a bit. The comments though are funny. The very first episode, it says this is AI everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like it explains the process, all the things. And there's still comments of, I started to listen to this and then I realized it was AI. And okay.
And
funny. It's funny. Anyway, I thought it was so I really want to get Levi on here to talk more about his process. Like I really want to talk to him about the process.
Yeah, and by the way, this is another example. I think I don't know if the mainstream media has picked up on this yet, but they will. And I think I'm calling that this is going to be another example of something you hear about first on Farcaster. And it's just like the guy who's building it, he's just sharing how he's building it. It's not like he's trying to promote it on Farcaster. He's not like using Farcaster as a distribution engine of like, hey, everybody come listen to my podcast. It's just, hey, I built this. Let me share how I built it. So just another plug for why you want to be on Farcaster.
And why you want to be listening to us. Yeah. Because we're going to get you things that are early. That's a great point. And it will absolutely be picked up probably very, very soon. All right. We're going to switch gears. Cojo, are you there? Okay. He's there. We're going to bring up the fabulous Colin right now. Welcome to back. Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been too long.
Way too long. By the way, do you like my background?
I love your backgrounds. The only thing I would change is I just put up a market about Epstein because apparently it gets you 100,000 views. So I
will be right there after the show to comment.
I saw it, Cojo, and is Epstein going to be found alive by a certain date?
Yeah, by May.
Maybe.
I think there's a chance. Prof, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
There's so many prediction markets you could put up regarding Epstein, so pull those over. I saw a few other markets on tomorrow that I need to dive into and add some commentary. But before we go, like we kind of jumped ahead without even talking about what the heck we're talking about today, which is tomorrow. And let me just read this and then we'll dive into more about what it is. Tomorrow.eth beta is live. We built a place to watch hot takes, bet on outcomes, and explore the future without losing real money. You just watch prediction videos, bet with free games, drop your own takes. Open beta has Super Bowl traders and tech questions with more coming soon. App.tomorrow.fun, or you can open the Tomorrow mini app right in Farcaster. So let me pull that up. And here you can see the video takes. So if you want to learn more about how I'm correct about Rob and traders, you can.
I don't know about that.
We'll discuss that. But it's really cool because you have like the feed up top where you can go to certain people, see what they're talking about. You can click yes or no, bet on what you think. You can either watch the videos or not. And then you can also, for these that you have no takes, you could be the first one to add your take, which this is the one that got my attention. Will Jason Kalakanakis resign from All In Podcast by March? And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I might have a take on that. So will Epstein be found alive? Oh, you literally just did that. You're wearing the same outfit.
We've got filters. We've got a beta version of filters. Yeah.
Oh, I got to try that. I got to try some filters. Oh, nice hat. Is that a filter? That's a filter. Yeah, very cool. Like lots of fun takes, and you can go jump in here and bet. And the betting is with these little diamonds, little gems. So, oh, I need to claim some gems. I think I won something. And you can also buy more, but right now it's just, you're giving like, aren't you getting like 20 a day? Is it right now?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to pay anything to play. You get 20 gems per day. You just have to log in, grab them and go make your picks.
And it's very cool. So let's start from the beginning. Where did this idea come from of like creating this sort of different approach to prediction market? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So as people are probably aware, we've been doing prediction oriented things for quite a while on Farcaster. We had the Ponder app before. And that was based off of social predictions, and it was more sentiment oriented. So people would, bet on the option that they thought most people would bet on. And if they were right, then they won. What we found with that was people were limited in the amount of sort of attention and dollars that they would put in because the outcome felt like it could be Sybil attacked. So we started thinking more about, okay, like what do prediction markets actually have going for them? What is fun about them? What do we hate about them? Like, what do we not want to be anywhere near? So things like the UX and the fact that it feels like a spreadsheet and it's like, pretty intimidating, I would say. Like even when I first went to prediction markets, I just kind of was like, I feel like I'm going to lose here. But what's really interesting to us is this idea of predicting the future, right? So everyone is kind of anxious right now about what's coming next. Is AI going to take all of our jobs, or is China going to invade Taiwan? Are robots going to take over? Like everything is terrifying as a general rule.
Don't forget the aliens. Don't forget the aliens.
Yeah, aliens. Like I think there's like a 5% chance of aliens coming this year, or like maybe Christ being resurrected on Polymarket.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
there are all these things that are concerning, and people are kind of wondering like what other people think about this stuff, right? We're all just kind of absorbing a bunch of information from news sites, and you kind of want to know like, well, what does the world think? So we thought that's a really cool thing that prediction markets do, is they sort of like bring the future forward a little bit. So we wanted to replicate that part of prediction markets, but we didn't want to go the full degen route. We didn't want it to be super financialized. Everything that we do is supposed to be more fun, like more consumer oriented, easier to understand, and more engaging for real people. So we thought about different ways that we could bring prediction markets to life in light of those kind of learnings. And so tomorrow is that, right? It's basically a UGC video-based prediction market. We're much more concerned with the conversations and the idea that we can pull in markets that are a little bit more niche, or maybe ones that, Polymarket and Kalshi steer away from because they're hard to resolve. But because we're in this space where it's gems rather than real money, we've got a little bit more leeway to sort of like invite those conversations, right? So that's the space we're trying to live in, is a much more sort of accessible consumer-facing app where it's just fun to kind of talk about the future. You can bet gems. Maybe there will be some way to redeem them in the future. There's not currently, so like no promises there. But yeah, that's kind of where it originated, and we're starting to really like the feel of it. It's new, right? So like it's in a beta. We wouldn't consider this a full-fleshed product right now, but we're starting to really enjoy it.
I think it's super fun. Personally, I like prediction markets more for I want to prove I can be right than I want to make lots of money off of it. I like being right. Who doesn't? Like, especially on,
You so often are. Problem.
Yeah, it's fun. So that to me is where I think this is fun. I like this is kind of already happening, but not in a direct way. Right. You have people on TikTok giving their takes on things that are being bet on Kalshi and Polymarket. They're just not together. Right. So I think this is perfect. Like it makes a lot of sense to bring these two things together, and it makes it just a little bit more fun. I loved logging in and seeing that I have way more people, betting along with me for the traders, and half of them like don't even watch traders.
Yeah. We're trying to give that sense of like you have a crew behind you a little bit.
Yeah,
you can see it in the design a little bit right over your shoulder there. Yeah. So you can see like, all right, who's on your side there. We show a bunch of PFPs, maybe more than is advisable. But I think it gives you a good idea of like the volume of activity that's going on there, like to support your side. And we'll keep playing around with that idea of like versus, right? We only have yes or no questions, or A or B binary guess options, right? And we like that just because it gives this sort of competitive elements. It simplifies things. It limits us in a few ways, but I think the benefits are greater.
I think for the beta part of it, it's easier. It just makes it cleaner while you're iterating and all that kind of thing. And so one of the other things, and I haven't tested this out, but I'm assuming I can go back in and add another take, right? Like basically point, counterpoint, SNL, Jane, that kind of.
I don't know if we have any constraints right now. We probably should. You might be able to drop a yes and a no take. TBD.
Not even that. No, I just want to drop like another, because now that I've seen your take as yes, and now we have more information because Traders has continued. So we've had another episode. Right. Like after each episode, I want to go back in and either double down or say, hey, I was wrong because, whatever, something like that. So
we've thought about this idea of reply takes. So like you could just directly reply to my take, and then we'd show some sort of like a threading option. So you could just follow that conversation of takes as time progresses. That's a good prompt for us to maybe explore further.
I think that would be pretty cool, because, you know, we had another episode last week, which kind of solidified more your position, but I think it also helps to show some of the cracks in your position. So yeah, I think we need to add a little bit to that. If you're not watching the traders, none of this is going to make sense to you.
It makes no sense.
No sense whatsoever. Can't wait for the UX nightmare of implementing reply takes. Sorry, Ben.
We might want to get started on that now, Ben.
The person who actually has to do the work just got the feedback. Sorry about that. But I do think it would be cool, as long as they just kind of went in order. I think that would be, you know, like if the videos as you put them in go in order, I think it works. You don't have to do like exact reply takes, but it could be cool.
Ben, that's all it takes.
If that makes sense. Okay. He's got it. That's funny. So I think I think it's just really fun. And I think especially if it's something you're passionate about or something you're just really into, even if it's niche, can be just a fun, like, back and forth way to do takes and get people to be betting. I also think there's potential for sponsorship on this, rather than it being a pool of funds, like some kind of liquidity pool. It's more like, you know, I don't know, maybe NBC, Peacock comes in and sponsors the trader takes or something like that, and you win some kind of prize if you get it right. Who knows?
Could be I would much prefer that to some kind of a copyright lawsuit. Sure.
Well, you're not using, as long as you're not using their stuff, you're probably fine, right? As long it's not there, it's not like clips from the show, we're probably good. Also limited, you're limited in time, so you're pretty good on copyright. You got fair use there.
It's not going to be NBC that comes and is like, hey, we really want you to proliferate our content, but there is, like, for I would say newer media that understands like just proliferation. So
I think short-form video is really valuable for that too, right? Because it's so easily shareable to different platforms, and we're trying to optimize a little bit for that too, like the ability to share to TikTok or to Snapchat or to Instagram Reels and all that stuff. So still figuring it out.
Yeah, and I would love it. Like, one of the things, and I didn't try it on the main app, I only tried it in the mini app, and I didn't see it still, is when you get the notification within Farcaster, like somebody had commented or added a reply to my take. So I went in to go see it, and then I wanted to share it back out, like share the take back out, and I couldn't share directly from that page. So that would be useful as well. So that I'm sharing like just that particular market. In that page. So anyway,
we'll look into that. There might be a way to do that.
Just a thought. All right. So Adrian, have you looked at this yet? Have you made any predictions? Where are you at?
No, I didn't want to lose money.
It's free. Free gems every day. You can only win. It's
only win.
I didn't want to lose. I couldn't play. Okay. I went, and I went through the onboarding flow. I find the app so like beautiful, and it's just such a delightful, like the whole vibe.
Joyful.
Use light mode in a crypto app.
That's crazy.
Which I prefer. So
you're gonna get slammed for that.
We actually have a dark mode button. Thanks. Okay. Shout out to Bane and Ben for building that.
Yeah, that was a choice. The bright white.
I love it.
But it was just just even like the very first, like from the beginning, it was just like delightful onboarding. I haven't done played any, sorry, don't ask me. But Colin, what I was curious about is, having done all of this stuff from Ponder ahead of time, in terms of, did a lot of that stuff transfer over in terms of making it easier to build tomorrow? Because it feels like you just started working on it and you have a full-fledged, I know you called it beta, but it's like really nice and it looks very polished and professional. And I don't think you've done video before, right? So is all the video stuff new?
That's all new. Okay, so a few things did transfer over, and those are just like kind of learnings for how to build an app within the Farcaster ecosystem. None of the code transferred over. we hired this new dev, Bane, who's just like an absolute beast too. Like, I've never seen anyone ship as fast in my entire life. Plus all the new tools that have come out to make shipping like that much faster. So it turns out you can just build things, and if you have good people on your team, you can actually build good things really, really quickly. So we were able to bring this idea to life like relatively rapidly. We have been working on it in the background for like a few months now, right? Like especially, you know, it's like a new product space, I would say. Like prediction markets aren't, but doing this like with video and like trying to merge those two, like social plus betting together, but it's more complicated than I guess it looks. So we had a lot of learnings about just like building consumer apps, a lot of learnings about Farcaster. One of the things that we are doing, by the way, is like we have the Farcaster mini app. We're going to be building this in Expo. So we'll have a web app, Farcaster mini app. And starting next week, we're actually building an iOS app. And we think we'll be able to have that ready in like a week. So the goal is to be able to get this in front of populations in addition to Farcaster to sort of like bolster the activity. And the part of the reason that we don't have any like crypto baked in yet is because it's much easier to get into the app store and to get sort of normal people using this thing before you then take that, like make that transition. So yeah, like certainly we learned a lot of things from the last build. It's also just great. Like Ben and I have been working together for a while now, so we know how each other operate and like we can get shit done. But like, yeah, frankly, the new guy we brought on, Bane, is just an absolute beast.
We got a question in here. Who is the UX designer? Does VA do that? And then luckily he's there in the chat. I've taken part in the UI UX, but huge shout out to our dev Bane, who is a cracked engineer and got the app to a matured state so quickly. So he's in there. Same. Yeah.
So it's we design by committee at the moment, which is maybe not the best.
It's working so far. It's working so far.
And then we got Erica from Uno yesterday to give us some incredible feedback too.
Oh, good.
So we like to mooch off of our friends.
Good. It's
that's why we have friends.
Oh, we have friends. I really think it is just a joyful app to like play around with for sure.
And it's just the details. Remember Farcaster went on vertical video a year ago? And just kidding, it was like 6 months ago. It wasn't even that long ago. Remember how hard it was just to get just uploading videos and sharing them to the feed without glitching. So I just noticed all the little touches you have with video of like even doing like the short, I guess they're like, are the thumbnails? Are you creating those like that's
so
why I think you're generating GIFs.
GIF. We had to build our own GIF creator because the GIFs that like Bunny uses don't work properly. So like again, Bane on our team was just like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and build that. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that you see, it's like very intentional. It's actually very hard to do like video in browser because Safari doesn't like to give you that much memory, and it's like all this confusing stuff.
They don't want to autoplay either, or they different browsers will do different rules for autoplay versus and sound and so.
But the iOS app will not have those constraints, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, and I did get a shout out. I think it was from DeWoofy making fun of one of the thumbnails, my face. He's like prof face as opposed to Adrian's face. And I was like, oh great.
DeWoofy has some questionable faces.
No control over this one.
He's just redirecting off of attention from his face.
Yeah, he's projecting.
It's true. In terms of like what's coming next, what people should look for, where they should drop feedback, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, so everyone should check out the app. We actually changed the @survey handle account to, I think it's @tomorrow.eth, @tmrw.eth. So we have, 30,000 followers automatically, which is kind of cool, but they should go check out that account because it has the link to the app, or it's just tomorrow.fun, I guess is the app. You can use it right now. You can start earning gems. You might want to in case those gems turn into anything else later or become redeemable for something in the future. We'd love people to like record video takes. Farcaster, like Adrian, you mentioned, vertical video launch. There's still not a lot of vertical video going on. A lot of people are sort of semi on or prefer to not show their faces. So for anyone that is willing to show their face, dropping takes is fantastic. So yeah, just like head into the app and do that. And yeah, like any feedback that you have, just feel free to like ping me at Cojo on Farcaster or Ben at BA. And we'll make it happen. We're very open to ideas right now. It's like, this is beta.
For the filters, you should just add put someone's PFP, animate someone's PFP someone who doesn't want to dox.
Yeah.
So animate like a pixelated fox giving a take. I don't want my face out there.
Yeah, so we're looking into all the different options for filters right now. Web is
You probably should have mentioned that 339 episodes ago.
Yeah.
We don't need more. I don't want more of my face out there is what I'm saying. I'm maxed out.
There's enough content of you. I think someone could create like a perfect representation of you.
Oh my God, you're totally right. You could actually put me in as a filter, let other people do my face.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Actually,
Ben.
What I have thought about actually was I want to figure out if we can get a Burtwurst face, like a live dog face for people.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
be
I don't know if it's
fantastic.
doable yet, but
I love the idea of the PFE if it's like easy to do. I'm sure it's not, but it would be fun. But you can upload a video, so you could use a filter elsewhere, right? And
correct. Yeah.
So you can't. So there's two ways to put a video up. One is directly through the app where you just record and it uses what you recorded. And the other is to upload something less than 60 seconds. So correct. I think that's the limit. Yeah, that's the limit. So you can do it that way too. So you could do something using, CapCut or something like that that has filters and different things built in and do it that way as well. I love
Snapchat filters for anyone doing this. So like Snapchat, use those filters, download the video, and then upload it. And it's like very smooth.
So you can do that. That would be another option if you don't want to show your face, but you have a good take. There you go. Yeah. Different ways to do this. You could go old school mask. I mean, you have a Fox mask.
You could.
You have a Fox mask.
I have multiple Fox masks, and I
mean, there's lots of ways to do this. And it really,
brown bag over my face.
Yes, there you go. No more than 60 seconds.
With Sharpies, I'll draw a face on.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be long. Doesn't have to be long. You can do a really quick thing. You can do it on the slopes. All those kinds of things.
Honestly, it is really fun. The more views you'll probably get. If someone had a brown bag over their head, I'm watching that take for sure.
Probably. Yeah. Do you remember that? You probably don't. The unknown comic. Okay. Yeah. No. This is. You guys are way too young, and I barely remember this, but it was from the 70s, and it was a famous. He would show up on different talk shows and stuff with a paper bag on his face. It was the unknown comic. Yeah. So it's been a thing. It's been a thing for a while. It can be done.
Next time I'm on.
Next time you're on, paper bag, Adrian with a Fox mask, and I'll be the only one. And I'll wear these. I'll wear this. This pretty much can cover me. There you go.
Love it.
Those are always handy. Colin, what else did we miss about tomorrow that you might want to share? Oh, you know what? I do have one other question. People have asked about Ponder, what's happening with that? Is that going away? Is that just going to remain sort of in its current state? What's happening there?
Hilariously, I think Base just had a cast where they were showing their app store or something within the Base app, and Ponder was the #1 app in their screen grab that they had. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I wouldn't recommend that. The app is still live right now, but we haven't been creating Ponders for months now. People can still create their own. They can still play around with it if they'd like. We're probably due to sunset it. Ben, we should talk about this sometime soon. It was a fantastic experiment.
If you guys want to have a meeting right now, that's fine. He's in the chat. You can just
Yeah.
Why do I feel like we're in a tomorrow stand-up? We're in the daily stand-up.
The daily stand-up.
Honestly, we should have granola notes and turn these into linear tasks.
There you go.
I think if anyone has any ideas for it, I chatted with Yasik at some point and said hey, maybe in the DGen app, you'd like to have something like this. It's a little bit of a beast, the code base, because we did off-chain and on-chain things. It was a complicated thing to build. So yeah, it might just be shut down. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, that's very sad. But I would say before anybody gets too sad, go check out tomorrow. The other thing is, so right now, the way that you're pulling in prediction, you're pulling in using an API for Kalshi. Is that correct? To bring in
we can do whatever the hell we want right now, which is awesome. But we do pull in markets from, so Kalshi has an API and Polymarket has an API. So the nice thing about pulling their markets in is you just automatically get an oracle out of a bag, right? So even if you're not using their liquidity and you're not doing on-chain transactions, which we could turn on at some point too, but we don't want to right now.
Yeah, so it's more about automating the Oracle part of it, so you don't have to do it manually.
Exactly. prediction markets have like 19 different annoying pieces that you have to deal with, like getting markets that are good, that are topical, finding liquidity, being able to resolve the Oracle question. Like there's just this like stack of things that are all super annoying to do. So the more you can just eliminate some of those things and focus on the other ones, the better shape you'll be in.
And one of the things that I had asked for that I would love is sort of these micro markets where the Oracle like is me or something, where, you know, things like for GM Farcaster, you know, like what hat am I going to be wearing today? And things like, you know, things we could put up and then we know it's going to be something that resolves by us online. And even if it's like a manual process, I still think that would be super fun to be able to have these like very micro, very niche things. And even to sort of build in like that, even for like, I'm thinking about this, like this could be even like a paid thing. So revenue for your side, but part of that goes to actually creating some kind of reward or something like that for people who are playing along.
So I love this idea. I think the internet is a better place when people can create things and remix things and do all that themselves. What we've been hoping for is an Oracle, like an AI agent Oracle. And I think Cody B actually just casted about this yesterday, how he's like building this basically Oracle in a box type thing. So if we get to the point where there's a really good Oracle so that people can just ask questions and then the Oracle can be an option, I think that looks really appealing too. But to your point, as long as we let people know, hey, this is going to be resolved by the creator. So like you should, I think that's
and you can watch on the stream on this day at this time, you know, like things like that. So, or you can point to where it's going to be resolved. Or where it's going to be announced or something like that. Yeah, I think there's fun things that could be done there. Especially, you know, you could limit it early on just to make sure things are working properly without opening it up to everybody to be able to do that. But it's something I would definitely use. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Would use, would pay for. There you go. Just
well,
you know,
just ask right now.
Yeah. And then Ben did say Colin made ponders every single day for like 2 years straight.
That was the most stressful part of my life. Every morning waking up and thinking, what is going to be interesting today?
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Well, we do something similar, but a little different. Now you have different things waking you up in the morning that are a lot more stressful. Congratulations. You have a new baby at home. Do you also have blockchain for babies behind you? Is that what I see on the shelf?
I do. I was hoping you'd notice.
Love it.
It's not that good.
Well, it's for babies. It's okay. You're muted, Adrian.
Nothing important to say. Carry on.
But you can't do this and then not finish.
I was saying, is it a board book?
No, it's just like pages.
Oh, it needs to be a board book.
We can walk through it one by one for the rest of the podcast if you'd like.
I think it's a cool idea, and Jacek had it all, like had posted that somebody sent it to him as well. So I thought that was cute. So there you go, little gift for those having babies who are also involved in crypto. So couple other things. One thing is I am very excited that you're watching The Traders. New episode tonight. I'm obsessed, obviously, clearly, and. So I know that your wife got you into that. Has she done some of the takes? Who else has been doing takes? There's people I do not recognize.
So she's done some takes, but we've deleted the ones she's done because she hasn't liked them. But she does have great takes. She was a PM at Indeed, so she actually does some PM work for me on the side. I like show her the product and get her feedback. So shout out to her for doing that. But so some of the other, so Sydney, who does a bunch of the takes, she worked at my last company with me. She's awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Amanda worked at this thing called Angel Protocol with me a few years ago, a crypto project that did like on-chain philanthropy. So yeah, she's on there too. So just like other people that I know from life who are willing to do a favor and leave some takes and who are interested in the platform too, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to see. Good to see.
We need more Farcaster people.
We definitely do.
Or leave their masks on.
Yeah, I mean, either way. Yeah, you can put your masks on. It's fine. And then we were talking earlier about AI, about all the different things going on. We were talking about Levi's podcast, using AI. We talked about the article that's been going around, the Matthew Schumer it's everywhere article about, you need to understand this right now, and it's COVID again.
Yeah.
What are your you're working in this space, but in a little different way with prediction markets, but what are you thinking about in terms of what you're seeing around these topics?
So we now, in our Slack, we have 3 different Claudebot agents that do different things.
Ooh, okay.
We talk to all the time.
What are they doing for you? Like, how are you using them in a productive way?
So I get reports every day about different prediction markets and the volume on those prediction markets and the different things that people are saying on Twitter about prediction markets as a general rule. So like, that's kind of super convenient. We have it plugged into GitHub, so I can create PRs for silly little things that are happening in the app. And then Bain can just kind of approve those. And it's just like, okay, that's fantastic. I've got it plugged into like ChatGPT's image gen and Gemini's image gen. So ChatGPT, I just have it doing like the UI and UX design type stuff for me there in Slack. I just like being able to have everything live in Slack, right? So it's pretty fantastic for that. Yeah, there's like a bunch of other small things, but the research, like the online reports that you can get really are like hyper valuable because it's just distilling all of this massive. I think LLMs are really good at distilling massive amounts of information into things that are really valuable, right? So like one of the first ways of looking at it is, how do I get a bunch of information that's super valuable to me pulled out in a way that I can just digest in like 2 or 3 minutes? And so there are a bunch of different ways of doing that. I've tried to have it build little things for me like overnight. Those are mostly stupid and don't do well, but it's good for like small PRs or like improving the app itself. But yeah, I mean, our thesis right now though is this isn't going anywhere. It's like too valuable of technology. And so like what's been proven is what like could come, right? So it's like theoretically we now see what could happen, and now it's just a matter of the tech advancing to getting to that point. So for us, it's like just be using it, right? Like you have to just constantly be using it as it's progressing and see like what these agents are going to turn into. We treat them as like kind of humans, not like spiritually, but we kind of act like they're humans. And my honest view is like that AI is going to be better than all of us at everything, like in a much shorter time span than we thought it was going to be. We'll probably find little ways to still be valuable, and like humans are still going to want other humans in the loop, and we have to deal with the whole like subversion of our economic engine, and that's going to come and probably be pretty rough for a while. But yeah, I mean, so incredible things are going to happen too, right? I just think like you have to be on this wave or you're going to be in really rough shape really soon. And I hate to sound so like, it's not like fatalistic or you don't
think it's pragmatic and realistic. Yeah,
but it's realistic. It's just like so obvious that
we're going to clip this, clip that.
I'm using
Cojo, when I say clip that, our AI will create clips.
We'll clip that.
So I said clip this. I don't know if it'll work. Clip that. Clip that. Clip that.
Yeah, it's super powerful. You literally
Love
you can't
AI.
miss it, and like, yeah, it's coming.
I feel like when AI does, by the way, I kind of agree. AI will be doing everything and better at us than everything. But pickleball tournaments.
Have you seen at the Boston?
Still going to be fun. Like I could send my Claudebot to play for me, but I'm not going to want to. Just what I'm saying.
I mean, people still want to watch humans play chess, right? Even though Deep Blue was beating us a decade ago or like 20 years ago, like people still want to watch humans do things. That's what's interesting to us. So long as we keep some modicum of control over the world and we don't just give all of it up, then I think we'll continue to have a space to do interesting things. And we'll probably be good for the next like 10 or 20 years. I don't think we're getting AGI with the current structure, but I think it'll kill jobs. And so that's kind of
it already is, and it's just going to be more so in the next 5 years. That's pretty clear.
Yeah,
that's definitely clear. And entry level, anything in an office is going out the door.
Okay, but the other flip side to that, right, which is, wouldn't you rather hire someone fresh out of college who is 5 times as cheap as someone who has 20, 30 years experience and is AI native because they've used all the tools? The answer is yes.
I just spoke with an 18-year-old. So I'm trying to get younger people using our app. And I spoke with an 18-year-old. He's at like Purdue, I think. And he's going to Eth Denver. He's already building apps. He's like PMing and he has 1 or 2 dev friends. And he's already building crypto apps using AI. And the way that he spoke about it was just like, yeah, this is my default every day. I'm just like building things. And I know that kid is going to be better than me.
He's going to be great.
months.
I deal with,
but we're
listen,
not
I deal
hiring
with
20,000 of those kids. Like
I deal with
they're
college
single.
students constantly. They are not him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The majority of them are not him. That guy, sure, absolutely. Hire him in a second. I'm telling you, like, there's a lot who are not, they're not spending enough time with AI, not in the way that is useful, or they're learning the new things. They're using ChatGPT to cheat, sure, every day, but they're not like doing the next, you know what I mean? They're just not pushing it enough.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't taking
Adrian,
it seriously enough because they're not like having to build things on the frontier that require you to push it a little bit more. So they're just like chatting with ChatGPT. But it'll come to the point where companies realize that employees have to be using this for them to be competitive. And then it's just going to filter down like pretty rapidly is my guess.
And sorry, Adrian, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I don't know.
You're saying you're like, you would hire the entry level. I don't know that I would. It has to be the right one. It has to be the right, it still has to be the right person.
Well, of course. Yeah. No, I was just saying is like, right. You're not hiring, gone are the days when you're hiring tens of thousands of undergrads just to like put them into the factory.
Yeah. Right. It's not, that's what's not going to happen.
I'd be worried about kids like not being motivated to do things because they think everything can be done for them. That actually is a concern of mine is they just say, well, like, why would I even do this? Like, I'm just going to like not get a job and AI is just going to be doing these things. I don't really have a good answer to them.
Yeah. And I think that there's also, I mean, it's been very obvious to me for a few years now that like low level legal work, you're not going to need that. You're just not going to need that. It's very expensive. You won't need it as long as you have tech friendly partners. And that's the issue right now. So there's a little bit of a block. If you've got boomers, they're just not, most of them. And Gen X, it's a mix. And then when you get down to the millennials though, you're pretty good. So I'm saying like, you're going to see that shift very quickly. But the solo partner, the solo practitioner is going to have an amazing boom because they won't have to go work. They won't need the resources of a large law firm anymore. They'll be able to do this on their own in a way that's going to be pretty amazing. So, but that's also going to help is the sort of pro bono, do-it-yourself kind of attorneys. It's going to be bad for a while because
She got cut off for speaking too much truth. I do think
bad take. That was
on this point though, I do think I just wrote terms and conditions for us in like 30 seconds yesterday, right? It was like ChatGPT is aware of exactly how our app works. Like it has all the context and it's just like, yeah, okay, I'm going to write the exact terms and conditions that you need. Like anything like that. For my last company, we had to submit to the SEC all these filings because we wanted to tokenize fine art and put it on chain. And there were like 80 pages in this filing. And like, I could just, because all those are public filings, you can just say, yeah, ChatGPT, just go recreate this filing for me. And that was like a 20.
Just had a flashback. You did Freeport.
Yeah.
And you did a talk at the first FarCon.
That's correct. Yeah.
While you were bedridden.
Yeah, I ruptured my Achilles before FarCon. It was terrible. Playing pickleball.
Yes. I remember listening to that talk, learning about what a Freeport was.
Yeah. But
that's right.
The 20 grand we spent on legal work to get that filing done, I think I could do in a day and a half right now.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely could. So I think there's a lot of very cool things happening with that. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know where I disappeared from. Adrian, anything else for Cojo before we let him get back to all the things?
We should let him go. I just really enjoy talking about this because I just feel like no one's talking about it. Just kidding. Everyone is.
We should talk about it in our bubble though.
Yeah, just our friends. Are you going to FarCon? Do you know?
Oh, good question.
I bought the ticket for it. TBD. I got to see like if our baby is in good enough shape to travel to Rome.
Oh, I love that.
I'll babysit. Hi.
She's really cute.
I will volunteer.
All the moms with teenagers are like,
yeah.
Bring the babies.
She'll be like 3 months, which I think you can travel with a 3-month baby.
Yeah, it just depends on how they're doing. I did. I definitely did. I know we traveled about that time frame when we brought my son to visit the grandparents up north, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was about 3 months. So it just depends on the baby, though, how they're doing.
Yeah.
And also the.
Yep. Lost her again.
Lost again.
And I know, and I guarantee she's still talking. She doesn't realize.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a good point though.
Is your Achilles fully healed? Have you recuperated back now after a few years?
I feel like it's kind of like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, where like it never fully heals, you know, like the stabbing. But it's much better. Like I'm playing pickleball, I'm playing softball.
Okay.
Sports, so.
And that's probably it's like the mental also, like when you have your brain will not let you use certain, like when you've had injuries, it tries to protect. So
I don't know. I'm pretty reckless.
Now.
Okay, we're back.
Then you should be Prof.
I keep losing you guys. I don't know what's going on.
We're just.
It must just be the AI bots heard us talking about them and they're upset. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
All right, good to have you, Cojo, and
great to have you here.
We're excited about tomorrow.
I am
Thank
too.
you. Thanks for having me on. Everyone, go record takes. We need your takes.
We need the takes. Need more video. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye.
That was so fun. At least a few people were saying that they want to record takes. So we're going to, your Berserker said he was definitely going to. Yay. So we're going to have to hold them to it.
I need to see more. I need more takes that aren't me.
Symbio, there's a switch for dark mode.
You can switch to dark mode.
Yeah.
I like the light mode. I think it's pretty. We had a couple more things. I'm really afraid that I'm going to get bumped off here. Let me just go through and just see what was really important very quickly, and then we will wrap and call it a happy Friday, even though it's Thursday. Definitely go check out tomorrow. Better Games is starting. Burr is doing a Better Games that is starting right now. I think this week. Might start it already, but go check this out. Go to burr.eth and you will see introducing Better Games, a reality social media game awarding 100 million better to the winner. Think Beast Games meets Farcaster. And she's done a version of this before. She played Cast Out as well. So, you know, she knows what she's doing. Go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know Zal already has signed on to participate. I'll be playing. It's going to be really fun. I'm just scoping through to see what we absolutely needed to talk about. Do you want to talk about the foxes, the philosophical foxes? What's going on?
Just do a quickie.
Okay.
So Philosophical Foxes was an NFT project from back yonder. It is my PFP. You will recognize the PFP because there's like there's a bunch of people on Farcaster with it. The project just ended. We just had our final. It was like it was a kind of a dare I say bittersweet ending, but also it was a nice little cap because so Mario, who's the lead fox, released a new NFT collection. So if you have a fox, you can go to dream.philosophicalfoxes.com and mint a counterpart to each one of your foxes. And it was a fun little experience. And I still like NFTs.
I still like NFTs as well. Awesome. Very cool.
And that's my background. So my background is my dreaming, one of my dreaming foxes to Hannibal.
Your new fox. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. So I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but all of a sudden there were kiwis in my fridge. And I was like,
did you not buy them?
Where these came from. No, I did not buy them. Did not buy the kiwis. All of a sudden they were in my fridge. I was like, where did these kiwis come from? Apparently my son's dad bought him a couple of kiwis. So they were sitting in the fridge and I was like, have you ever eaten a kiwi? I think he did when he was little, but I don't remember. So this is the first time we've had like a full kiwi in the house. So he did try it. He did try it with the skin on, preferred with the skin off, but did try it. So, and he was like, why are you taking pictures of this? Why do you care whether or not I'm going to eat? Like, what is, it's like, is this a Farcaster thing? I'm like, it is absolutely a Farcaster thing. And then I had to explain what was going on there. If you don't know what the heck we're talking about regarding the kiwis, if you look at this thread, you will find the story from Mac Badowski about the kiwis. And you'll often see us ask this question about kiwi skin on or off. So there you go. Two more quick things that were interesting. Yesterday, Coinbase announced wallet for AI agents with built-in guardrails. The company says its sandbox, self-custodial design keeps private keys isolated as the autonomous bot boom continues. So immediately, a lot of people over on Twitter X were like, banker? You mean banker? Can't we just use banker? And I did think that Deployer had a good response, saying every agent is going to have a wallet. The vision we started a year ago is coming to fruition. The question is what happens next? The goal at Banker is to build the stack for agents to run businesses, find its own compute, grow a community that compounds. Exciting to see this. We're just getting to the good part. So there was this feeling that like Coinbase took something someone else built and used it for their own, but they really didn't, and they did their own thing, and it is very different. And as long as Deployer's okay with it, I'm okay with it as well. But my first thought was also like, come on now. At least give some props, but there was no props to be given apparently. One other thing.
This is how the world works.
It's absolutely how the world works. Actually,
This is not news. This is not news.
This is not news at all. There's always going to be someone else who builds a better mousetrap, and it just is the way that works.
And there's going to be someone who's got more distribution than you, and
Yep.
they're and built-in credibility. And guess what? But what's different is Deployer has a following.
True.
Like you could be a solo dev, but Deployer has a following, and has credibility, and people know. So
yeah, there we go. This from Base Builds. They today we're launching leaderboards for Base.dev. They bring automatic distribution, automatic's a big word, distribution to the top apps on Base and simplify app discovery for users. The first leaderboard launching today is for mini apps in Base app. So there's now a new leaderboard. I was like, if you could also put a leaderboard just like in the Base app, that would be also good. Just a thought. But as I thought about it, I'm like, this is also good. It's also helpful. If somebody comes across this website, it's another place where they can discover some of these apps. So that's great. Within Twitter now has a weird way of showing websites. It does work though. It will bring you to either the Base app or to the App Store to download. So it's fine.
I forgot I saw this, and I meant to log into Base Dev or Base Builds, but I don't have my passkey on the computer I was at, so I couldn't. But I have it on this laptop, so while you're talking, I'm logging in to see how our app is
how we're doing. Okay.
Not good enough, guys. Not good enough.
Not good enough. I'm going to tell you right now. There was also a couple other things going on from Base. This was a comment about, I think the ecosystem is heading in the wrong direction. It was an article, and it was basically about Base. So Jesse had commented back, thank you for writing this, blah, blah, blah. I'm really just getting to the point where about the Super Bowl ad. So somebody said, you could have given the Super Bowl ad money for users of your chain, man. WTF was that even? Millions for such a sad advertisement. First of all, the ad was good. You know how I know it was good? Because we're still freaking talking about it, and it's 4 days later. So whether or not you hate Coinbase or you're still talking about it, that is the whole point of advertising. So let me do that. Let me say that. But I'm going to read this from Jesse. Putting aside the ad itself, it's worth noting that Base is run basically as a startup within Coinbase. Every year, we get a revenue plus cost target set in collaboration with the exec team, and then we have to work within that to make Base the best it can be. To be honest, this is a massive blessing because it's forced a level of rigor that I don't think we otherwise would have had. This rigor has led to us being super rigorous in how and where we spent. Later on, he did say I used rigorous too many times. how and where we spend, all with the goal of maximizing the growth of the base economy. I think from the outside, this operating model isn't obvious, so people look at things like the broader Coinbase does and get confused. But the truth is, this level of rigor of not overly spending in one place just because another is working is exactly the kind of rigor that's led Coinbase to repeatedly be able to innovate, launch, and grow whole new businesses. I wouldn't have it any other way. P.S. I love the ad. And then later on, he did say, like, PPS, I had nothing to do with the ad and didn't even know what it was until I saw it live during the Super Bowl. The Coinbase marketing team cooked. I did push back on that and say, we know what happened. It was because of us. And then PPS, I said rigor way too many times in that post. But then again, you know it's real because AI would have definitely taken out at least 5 of those rigors. Another thing I'm just going to point out, but I'm not going to read, Jesse did post over on Farcaster. I think he did it on Farcaster. Might have been on Base. You still can post there. Definitely on Farcaster.
Same thing, protocol. We're talking about the protocol.
Same protocol. He did 3 learnings for me in 2025. I'm not going to read this, but I'd suggest reading it. I think it's interesting, especially if you have criticism about Base or you like what they're doing. Either way. I would go give it a read. It kind of just dives into, it's a nice, like, self, like a little introspective.
Yeah.
That he, you know, and I appreciated it. So that's it. All right, Adrian, anything else before we break? Do you see how happy she is right now? Do you see that smile?
I'm so excited.
Do you understand that smile?
I think it's time
why
for
you're
us to
smiling
break.
so much.
I'm going on a ski vacation. So peace out, y'all. see you in a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I will be mountain maxing and yeah. Sorry, we're off next week.
We're going to be off next week. So we are off until Monday, February 20. What the heck date is it? 23rd. So February 23rd. I don't think we have our guest confirmed for that date. I don't think we have for that date. We have another guest coming in. Who was the other guest? No. Sorry. It's not a guest. So when we come back, we will have an episode on Monday, our usual Clanker sponsored episode. Still confirming a guest for that. We will not have an episode on Wednesday, but we will be on Farhouse on Thursday with the Farhouse team. And then we will have an episode on Friday. Did I get that right? I think that's correct. Yeah. Right? I think that's right.
But as we work this out, check our mini app for the latest schedule.
There you go.
There's nothing going to be up right now because we haven't figured it all out. So just add the mini app so you get notified.
It'll be soon. Yeah, no. I see you. And my answer is no words.
We already covered Epstein at the beginning of the show today. We did a lot of Epstein talk. And
we had enough of that. But anyway, we will be back. We're going to take a week off. I'm going to be working on mini apps. I'm going to be doing all kinds of fun things in the background. I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done.
You're going to be doing our taxes, I heard.
That too. That is another thing that's on my list. I've got a lot of like admin in the background kind of stuff, plus getting my class ready because my class starts in a couple weeks for this semester. I do like only an 8-week version, so I'm in the second half of the semester this time. So I got to get that ready, get the students ready to come on over and set up a wallet on Farcaster. So there you go. All right, everyone. We will see you on the other side of Adrian's ski vacation. Happy Friday on this Thursday. I'll see you inside of Farhouse. We will be there next Thursday, but we'll be here. I mean, not next Thursday, but when we return. And anything else before we call it?
Upload your takes on tomorrow. Hamalama has a looks like a launch. So friend of the pod, check out what they're building.
Look for that. Yep.
Oops, and
where is it? There we go. Go check it out. All right. And with that, everyone, it's been a pleasure. Sorry for the couple little glitches when I just disappeared from the screen. Maybe it was a break. That's okay. Thank you, Cojo, for being with us today, Colin and team. Go check out tomorrow, and we will see you on the timeline. And until then, everyone, bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the Base app. Until next time, bye-bye.